Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? It's Saturday morning. I only normally do these Monday to Friday, but I felt in a good mood. So I came here on Saturday morning to bring you all the latest news. What a gentleman I am. Sam here, live on United People's TV, as I normally am Monday to Friday, but we get an extra special Saturday one here to talk about the man himself, Raphael Varane. That's the exciting signing that Jadon Sancho was dead exciting too, but when will Raphael Varane be unveiled as a Manchester United player? That is what we are waiting for. That is what I'm bringing you updates on this morning from Fabrizio Romano, and also a very important update to the change in legislation in the UK on Monday, which means that we might be able to see Raphael Varane a little bit sooner than we hoped. You let me know throughout this entire show. You know the drill by now. You let me know in the comments where you're watching this from, the town you're watching it in, and the country. I'll try and give you a few shout outs throughout the entire stream. If you want to leave your comments, you want to fire in your super chats, you want to join as a member, you get involved in this channel however you want to do on YouTube and Facebook. Let me head down to the comments and see just a few. Oh, look, Ozzy. Ozzy joined as a member and didn't get a shout out. I added you onto the map before the stream, Ozzy. Sorry about the lack of a shout out, but you got one now. And if you fire in your comments, all members get priority comments read out. That's what I do for all of you who join the family and join the gang, such as, I saw your name there, Thomas. Good morning to you, Thomas, as well. Good morning to every single one of you watching from around the world. But let's dive straight into this one, because Raphael Varane, when will he be unveiled as a Manchester United player? We're all excited. We all want to see it. Yesterday, he said his proper final goodbyes. Gareth Bale looks like a villain in a Marvel film there. He's just the shape of his head there. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I was watching. What did I watch last night? One of the Marvel films. Can't remember. Anyway, Raphael Varane said his goodbye. He was at Real Madrid's training ground, giving Marcelo hugs, giving Bale hugs, walking around Modric or Gail Platt, depends who you look at him. And I'm not actually sure who that is. But he said his goodbyes. He got like a hero's exit, really, from Real Madrid. They made like a 3-minute video. They were basically saying how good a professional he's been. And that's a big, big reason why I'm so excited about this Raphael Varane deal, ladies and gents. Can't wait for it to go through, because he is a model professional, an absolutely model professional. Someone who players have looked up to his whole career, someone who's held in high regard by his club, Real Madrid, being there for 10 years, won all the pots, did everything, and left on good terms. Real Madrid didn't want him to leave. Real Madrid would have rather he signed a new contract, but they lost him. He left. Game, set, and done. So Manchester United have taken advantage of that, and he is joining Manchester United. But when will he be unveiled? That is the question that all of us are asking. The man himself, he gave an update yesterday, last night, on Raphael Varane, saying he's planning to fly to Manchester early next week, coming here now, to complete his move as a Manchester United player. Should be on Monday. Medical and contract signing are also scheduled next week, and then Varane will be unveiled as a new signing after Sancho. So that's it. That's the big buzz. Looks like Varane next week. That's when we're going to see him be unveiled. But there's been a real big question about quarantine. Because of COVID-19, there's rules and regulations on any entrant into the UK on self-isolation, on quarantine. And the stories from last week all said that basically Varane was going to have to quarantine for quite a few days on arrival in Manchester, and therefore it was going to delay his medical. That is going to change, and I think basically Manchester United and Raphael Varane have been a little bit smart here in what they're doing, because obviously the Varane deal was announced last week, and we're thinking, why can't he just fly to Manchester straight away? The laws change in the UK from Monday. There's new rules coming in for green, amber, and red list countries on entrance into the UK, and this is the important bit here. And this is why I think Varane has been delayed. Adults fully vaccinated in the UK don't have to self-isolate upon return. From the 2nd of August, this extends to those jabbed in the US and most European countries. It's saying France is an exception, but I hope that's not the case, because if that is the case, then the whole French team is certainly an exception. But maybe he got vaccinated out in Spain, which is where he is at the moment. So I don't think that really matters too much, because he's not flying from France. But Raphael Varane, it looks like he doesn't need to quarantine. when he arrives in the UK. And that is a big, big bonus because that means that the medical can get done on Monday after he arrives. It means the announcement can all get prepared. The thing that I'm worried about personally is I'm not here from Thursday until Monday because I'm finally going away for a few days. I guarantee they're going to announce Varane when I'm away, and that is going to fume. That is going to piss me off. Kieran, how you doing? Watching from Joburg this morning. Big up to you, my friend. How are you doing? And Victor him. And I see you missed you yesterday saying any news on midfielders and Pogba, Sam? I will get into that later in the stream, Victor. And don't you worry about that. There's a big discussion we've got to be having about Paul Pogba and whether or not he loves Manchester United. Josh Williams, how you doing, my friend? Good news. You haven't missed too much. We're just talking about Raphael Varane. And basically, because of the new rules that are coming into the UK from Monday, it looks like he doesn't have to self-isolate when he flies into the country. And it looks like that's why Manchester United have delayed Varane flying to Manchester. We've got Lim saying, do we know if he is already vaccinated? I'm pretty sure that everybody who competed in Euro 2020 had to be double vaccinated. At least I know the French team was. So I'm pretty sure that he was vaccinated. One sec. There's a few people. And honestly, anybody who's down here in the comments, sorry on Facebook if I can't quite catch them, spam in the comments. It's harder to do on Facebook. But on YouTube, any mods, keep these comments clean, please, because people are complaining. There's too many good people in the comments. I don't want their stream to be ruined by anybody who fancies trying to ruin it anyway. Victorim, how you doing? Sorry I missed your stream. What do you mean? What do you mean you're at work? I thought you were me. Come on, play the game. Nice to see you again, Victorim. I'll let you off this one time. But yeah, I'm really happy about that because it looks like the Varane situation might be going ahead a little bit earlier than we expected to next week. But seeing how Manchester United delayed the Sancho announcement, I don't know when we can expect Varane to be announced. But things have to happen fast now. Remember that. When it comes to Monday, we're 12 days away from our first game against Leeds United to open the season. Therefore, we need to get the Varane deal done, get the circus out of the way of him being announced as a Manchester United player, and let him settle in his new surroundings. Let him and his family settle in their new surroundings in Manchester, because he's been at Real Madrid for 10 years. It's a huge change for him. It's a huge change for his family and his 2 kids as well. You want to get them in as soon as possible, no quarantine as soon as possible, or maybe his family will have to quarantine because maybe they're not double vaccinated. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But it sounds like Raphael Varane won't have to self-isolate, which means the medical should be able to get done nice and early. Gonzalo watching from Bolivia. How are you doing? Are there any news this morning on youngsters to be sent on loan? It looks like Pellistri is going to be going back to Deportivo Alaves. That's the only one I know at the moment. Charlie McCann obviously has joined Rangers on a permanent deal. Hopefully we've got a buyback clause on that because he's a decent player. Let's see how he gets on at Rangers. None of the ones off the top of my head, my friend. But there's plenty more that we can get into as we are watching this. Oh, look at that. Big up to you, Sean. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Yes, you can get a yes, mate. Happy birthday, Sean. Everyone wish Sean a happy birthday in the comments. And what a perfect way to start off your birthday, mate. Joining me this morning in the live comments. I mean, does a birthday get any? You may as well just stop now because your birthday is going to be downhill from here, my friend. But look, Raphael Varane, he got a hero's exit from Real Madrid. He is the model professional. We want to see him wearing that Manchester United shirt. And it looks like the medical will happen on Monday. The quarantine hopefully won't have to happen, which means that maybe we can get it done and announced before Thursday, before I disappear for a few days, because that would be a beautiful thing. I want to join you on the live stream with a big smile on my face on the Varane announcement. I don't want to miss it. Where am I going, Sam? If an announcement happens while you're away, do a short video on your laptop. Enjoy your holidays. I'm actually going to a festival for a few days. Why not? Why not? And the signal there is absolutely poop. Otherwise, I would do a live stream. I'll see what goes on. Maybe I'll prepare a video and get it done, but we'll see. Anyway, that's the news on Raphael Varane. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments. What's your reaction to it, as always? What I'll do now is a quick shout out. If you're watching, please drop a like on the video. Genuinely, it does help. There's thousands of you watching, and I look at the likes on the video, and there's only like 400. I'm like, come on, people, don't be lazy. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new. And if you do want to help the channel and support the channel, you can hit the join button down below. It's like the price of a coffee. It helps me. It helps the channel, and everything I'm doing gets reinvested back into the channel. If you're on Facebook, there's a link in the description of this video, or there's a video pinned to the top of the page. Click the support now. So many of you are joined. So many of you are helping the channel go on. I'm in contact with somebody, hopefully, to come on as a video editor. And the short videos, don't worry, ladies and gents, they're going to be starting from next week. Don't you worry about that. I did say I was going to help the channel get better, and you're helping it make it better. So that is happening. I've got Slabhead Maguire. I've answered this once before. I'll answer it again. Sam, do watch-alongs. You're never going to catch me doing a watch-along. It's not how I enjoy watching Manchester United. I know so many of you all around the world would love to join me on that, but I don't want to do it. It's my personal preference. I think it's horrendous to sit there live watching a game. It's not how I enjoy watching Manchester United. I want to sit there with a drink, relax and swear at the TV, or be at the game, or be wherever. It's just watch-alongs are not my dig. I understand why people do them. It's just not going to happen from me. Got Vicky. How you doing, Vicky? Saying Sancho, Varane, and hopefully Neves will bring the best out of Martial. Well, we don't have to worry about bringing the best out of Martial if don't think. Well, it'll bring the best out of the whole team, Vicky, won't it? Having those three signings. Wah, we wah, as Borat would say. I like saying that. Right. Let's head on to the next piece of news. And this is a very, very important piece of news that happened yesterday that we thought was going to happen. And Marcus Rashford. It's been officially confirmed by Manchester United that he will undergo surgery. And it means that Rashford is probably going to be missing about 12 weeks of football. It means he's probably going to be missing from Manchester United until around about, I don't know, October time. And this is what Rashford had to say. Rashford released a statement himself about the surgery. He said, well, maybe won't read the whole thing out here, but he's just saying, look, having been out of the game, recovering from the double stress fracture, and having spent a lot of time away from teammates and staff who could have been a part of my life, it was blah, blah, blah. I needed to feel a part of something again. I needed to feel like I was playing my part, blah, 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 blah. There's no point in me reading all of that out. I'll be here all day. But basically, it's Marcus Rashford saying, look, it's been tough for me. I've had a long... Rashford played so much of last season with injuries. Rashford was not 100% fit for so much of last season. And you saw it, especially towards the tail end of the season where he really started to nosedive in terms of his form. And he's saying there, look, he goes, if I had known that I wasn't really going to have a central role with England, he probably would have, after the Europa League final, I'm not sure, is he saying it here or have I read that somewhere else? I can't see it anyway. Rashford is giving everything. I've told you, Rashford's like Rooney in the fact that when Rooney used to play for United with injuries, Rooney just carried on playing through injuries, even if it wasn't the right thing for him to do himself, and he put himself in a bit of danger. Rooney just played on and played on and played on. It's a big reason why so many fans loved Wayne Rooney. And Rashford did that last season. He had a double stress fracture in his back. He had the shoulder injury, he had ankle injuries. He had so many niggles, and he still continued playing. And I think it was a little bit of mismanagement from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and how much he overused him. And as Wayne Bramley said here, he said in hindsight, he should have had it for the Euros. Southgate should have given him a heads up. He should have given him a heads up. He should have said, look, man, I've got so many good quality players. I've got Grealish. I've got Bukayo Saka, who I'm apparently going to be starting. I've got Sancho. I've got Foden. If you're going to have surgery, have that surgery. If it's best for you, look, I suppose a manager wants to keep as many good players in and around his team as possible, but it means that the Rashford situation, what is it now? 31st of July. Maybe it could have had that surgery about 6 weeks ago. Maybe we're only going to miss him for 6 weeks, but Rashford is going to be missing until October. It's going to be a big problem for Manchester United. And it means that how Manchester United are going to line up without Marcus Rashford is a real question, I suppose, we're going to have a discussion about. You let me know in the comments below now. Let me quickly pull up a formation here. But you let me know what you think Manchester United's formation and who should play instead of Marcus Rashford. Because I'm still looking at the 4-3-3. Because I think that's the formation that Manchester United should be having next season. My own personal preference. I think we should definitely be moving away from that 4-2-3-1. I don't like it. Well, I do like it for certain games, but I don't like it as a long-term formation for United. I think we need to move into that 4-3-3 because that's where we've got the quality players. If you're looking at the strengths in the quality in this United team, it doesn't lie in playing McTominay and Fred. It lies in getting the best out of Paul Pogba and getting the best out of Bruno Fernandes. Now, maybe Paul Pogba won't be here next year. We'll find out about that. we'll speak about that next, actually. That's the next talking point. But I just did that whilst speaking. So good. Anuj, what are you saying? I just had the feeling that Martial will improve this year. Injury hasn't helped him, but I guess he will play an important role until Rashford comes back. You're spot on there. He's definitely going to be getting an opportunity because Rashford is missing. Let's have a look here. This is a possible potential formation that we've got without Marcus Rashford. Now, this is definitely going to be an interesting conversation to have because ideally, I want this. Maybe not Greenwood there. I want Sancho on the right wing. Maybe you've got Dan James there. Maybe that would be a better situation. But Jadon Sancho certainly played out on the left for plenty of times for Dortmund. He's used to it. He's not a terrible player out on the left. He can play in both roles. So it'll be interesting to see where Solskjaer plays him. In my opinion, I don't want Sancho to be played on the left. I want Sancho to be playing on the right-hand side. That's where our weakness has been, and that's why I was so excited about signing him. Look at that. We've got a new member, T. Royce. Big up to you. Good morning, my friend. Manchester United Supporters Club from Perth. Wicked. How you doing out in Perth? Nice to see you, T. Nice to have you as part of the family. We've got Elzia. You're saying Martial. Now, hell yeah. This could definitely happen. We could definitely see this. And that's more of a... I suppose that's got a bit more excitement to it. Sorry. Having Martial on the left there. And there's no Martial agenda whatsoever. Martial will get plenty of opportunities this year. And I want to see the Martial that tore it up, not last year, the year before. But he got 22 goals. His best individual season. Second best was his first year under Louis van Gaal. His best year was that year, that first full year, I think, under Solskjaer. You could play Martial out on the left. I'll tell you who else is definitely putting himself into the mix here. Elanga has definitely put himself into the mix because he's been so impressive in this preseason. And as I said, success is when opportunity meets preparation. And Elanga's put the hard graft in during this summer. When everyone has been resting, he has not been resting. And therefore, I think he's definitely put himself into the mix here because of how good he's been in the preseason. But look, you can play Elanga there. You could play Sancho there. You could play Martial on the right there. Bearing in mind, there's one player we haven't mentioned yet. He played there a lot last season. You've got Greenwood. United have got... We've got options. We've got plenty of options. For me here, it's going to be James or Elanga or Martial, really. That's probably your options there. And on the right, you're probably looking at Sancho and Greenwood. You let me know in the comments below whether you agree on that. And I'm actually going to be doing a video specifically on Manchester United's squad depth. That's coming next week. Going to be looking at every position, looking at the starting 11 and the strength that we have behind them. Victorim, how you doing? Saying Martial left wing, Sancho must play on the right. I completely agree with you, Victorim. I want to see Sancho playing on the right. I don't think he should be played on the left. In the same sense as I hate seeing Marcus Rashford play on the right. You just don't get the best out of him. Sancho, for me, and the problem is I haven't watched enough of Borussia Dortmund, so I don't know where his best performances have come overall over the course of the season. But Sancho is a proper right winger, and he can go on the outside more so than anyone really can in this United team. Josh Williams, what are you saying? I think we've all been scared by Martial's performances last year. I think we all just want him to show his commitment. Absolutely. Actually, no, that's a good point there. Sorry, I've missed a player out there completely. And that's Ahmed. There's so long you can't even fit it in there. So maybe you're going to be getting Cavani going up there with Greenwood, with Sancho going over there with Ahmed. Maybe that's what's going to be happening. And that's probably a fair comment, actually. So thank you very much for pointing that out. And as I said, I'm going to be doing a proper in-depth video. It's going to be my first short video next week. Don't worry, I told you the short videos will come back. Going to be doing my first short video next week where we run through every single position. Look at that, Lone Wonder. I tell you what, Lone Wonder, big up to you, my friend. Thank you very much for that on a Saturday morning. I hope you have a absolutely fantastic weekend. And you're saying Rashford is one of those players that I consider a legend, just like Rooney. When it comes to playing through injuries, both committed to playing non-stop for the club, whatever injury that may be. You're absolutely spot on, and that's the definite characteristic I see in Rashford's personality. He puts the club before him, absolutely, body and mind. He wants the best for Manchester United. If that means a little bit of a niggle of an injury, he's going to ignore that, and he's just going to carry on and do his best for the club. Sometimes it comes as a detriment to them because the injuries, you just need to chill, man. You just need to relax a little bit. And that's the situation now. I'm just very glad that Manchester United weren't negligent and didn't say, because Rashford probably said to him, said, look, yeah, I could probably play through this injury. Maybe I don't need it. The club said, no, Marcus, you go and do it. You take the time out. You need it to rest and recuperate because he absolutely needs that. And if Rashford didn't have this surgery now, there would be real question marks about how fit he would be across the course of the season, in my own opinion. New member T. Royce, how you doing, my friend? Happy Saturday, Sam. Happy Saturday to you, my friend, as well. So this will be a good time for Martial to prove himself. On the left, Sancho on the right, and Cavani in the middle. As I said, look, there's plenty there. We've got options. I think we've got 3 options on the left. James Elanga and Martial, with Sancho and Ahmad on the right, and Cavani and Greenwood up front. And that's without Rashford. That's a lot of options that we have got across the front 3 without Marcus Rashford. I think we're going to be doing okay without Rashford. We would do better with Rashford, but Elanga's forced himself into an opportunity. Anthony Martial's coming back and hopefully having a barnstorming season. Jesse Lingard's still at the club. I don't think he will be at the club next year, but that's what I think will happen. Let me look at the comments here. Look at that. John Fatorma watching from Sierra Leone. Good morning to you, my friend. How are you doing? I tell you what, there's something else I need to pull up on here this morning. I should really have logged into this before I go live on the stream, but I forgot. What are you going to do? Hopefully that's my password. Yeah, that is my password. Fantasy Premier League, ladies and gents. Oh, God. Just let me no, go next. Go. Update your details. I've read and agreed. Yeah, go. No, thanks. Go away. Just let me log in. The Fantasy League is back, ladies and gentlemen. I can't get you the, where is it? Jeez, ignore that. I've completely forgotten what the league code is. What an idiot. But check out Twitter, check out Discord. I'll be announcing the Fantasy Premier League today, so make sure you don't miss out on that. And something else I will quickly announce one more time. In fact, I'll announce this plenty more times because it's such a good giveaway. Yeah, she is. We've had hundreds of entrants so far. But look at that. The I Love This Game presentation box. Look, Hassan said right there, congrats on 200K. Congrats on everybody helping us get to 200K. And this is my giveaway for everybody as a thank you. With the letter in there from Patrice Evra, with the hoodie, with the bag, with the presentation box. That's for one lucky viewer. They're going to win that. And it's free to enter. You know it's free to enter. It's my way of saying thank you back to every single one of you who has helped the channel get to this stage. All we've got to do to enter is join our Discord. Let me pop that in the comments now. There you go. It's in the comments. Join our Discord on there. There's a channel called Giveaway, #Giveaway, right at the top of the server. You go on there, drop a like on the post that I've put in there, and that's you entered. That's you entered into the draw. Got one more week left, maybe a few more days. I don't really know when, but I will let one of you know because one of you lucky people is going to get that. It's going to be brilliant. Vicky, you're saying Pereira, Lingard, James, De Gea, maybe even Fred's got to go. Bring through the youngsters like Elanga, Ahmad, Garner, and Hannibal. Give them a chance. Look, I think Pereira will go. I think Lingard will go. I think James should stay and will stay. I think De Gea should go out on loan with an obligation to buy, but that only depends on whether there is somebody who wants to buy him. And Fred, he's not going anywhere. Fred is a good squad player and will always be a good squad player at Manchester United as far as I'm concerned. I don't think we should be getting rid of him anytime soon. Somebody who could be leaving, let's quickly move on here because we'll get stuck in a conversation about the squad, is Paul Pogba. It's going to be a situation, as I said, this is going to be the main story for quite a while now, isn't it? This Paul Pogba situation, what's going to be happening? Will he stay? Won't he stay? Sky Sports bringing out a big update yesterday. Let's run through that update together. Paul Pogba can see a long-term future at Manchester United, but may wait on a contract extension. If Paul Pogba does not sign a new Manchester, let me zoom in on this so you can have a read of it as well. If Paul Pogba does not sign a new Man United deal by the end of the window, it will not automatically mean he is against signing one in the future. Talks between Pogba's representatives and United continue, while PSG remain interested in signing him. Going on to say here, look, Pogba has a great relationship with Solskjaer, is excited in the direction that Manchester United are moving. Sky Sports News has been told that Pogba loves Manchester United, but knows that his next contract is likely to be the last big one that he signs in his career. If he does not sign a new United deal by the end of the window, it will not automatically mean he is against signing one in the future. You, again, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Because this Pogba situation for me is going to drag on. I really think it's going to drag on. Come from Lone Wanderer saying, Sam is up there for Fabrizio Romano when it comes to legit transfer news. Not kidding. Big up to you. Big up to you, Lone Wanderer. Thank you very much for that super chat, my friend. And thank you very much to everybody. I try and represent myself as accurately as possible when it comes to the news. I try not to jump on the hype train of every single piece of niggly news, and I try to look into the story. As I said, I'm a trained journalist. It's my prerogative to try and make sure that I'm bringing you facts rather than fiction, which isn't always easy in the transfer window. We all know that. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult because things get a bit crazy in the transfer window. But let me see what you think about Paul Pogba in the comments. Got a comment here from Michael Southcombe. I've not seen your name before, Mike. Are you new? Drop a like on the video, subscribe, my friend, and thank you very much for super chat. Watching from South Wales, Rhondda Valleys. I shall add you onto the map, my friend. Do you think a week of training will be enough for him to start against Leeds? Varane, obviously, he played in Euro 2020, so he was match fit up until that point. He was tournament match fit. Very, very tough tournament football. I think Varane will be ready to play against Leeds. I don't think that will be an issue. The only issue is how quickly can we get him into the squad? How quickly can we get him settled? That's the bigger issue. I don't think the fitness will be a problem with him. But with Paul Pogba, let me see what you think about this in the comments below. Man, the Sky Sports website is awful, isn't it? But let me see what you think. Let's go down here. Anna's saying, I think Pogba is doing what Ramos did with United. Obviously, Ramos played us, signed a new contract with Real Madrid. It's a little bit different because Pogba can't technically do that with us because he's already with us. But he's certainly angling for an improved contract. And that's coming through his actions with Mino Raiola. Lone Wanderer saying, need to get rid of Pogba. Don't want us to, but it's clear Pogba doesn't love Pogba doesn't love United as much as we thought. That's what Sky Sports News are disagreeing with. They're saying that Pogba loves Manchester United, that Pogba is interested. And I'll be honest, my gut instinct, my absolute gut instinct is that Manchester United are going to take a bit of a gamble with Paul Pogba. My instinct is that Manchester, unless the offer comes in that's big enough from PSG, which is probably going to be 50 million plus. If that offer comes in for Pogba, I think Man United may sell him. But if that offer does not come in, I think United will take the risk with Paul Pogba. We'll go into the new season knowing that we could lose him for a free next summer in the hope that this team, that we go on to do great things this season and that Paul Pogba doesn't want to leave and that Paul Pogba stays and wants to stay. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I might be wrong on that. We'll see what develops, but that's just what my gut is telling me. Unless the big offer comes in, I don't think Pogba will leave this summer. Dark Prince, sounds like one of those heist movies. One last huge score and never having to work again, like Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver. Great film, great soundtrack. Pogba should sign or leave. We don't need a circus. Look, if it was what I wanted to happen, I would see Manchester United sell Paul Pogba if he doesn't want to play for the club, if he wants to play for United. And that's the problem, man. He can't just... We're being held to account by Paul Pogba if we let him just make his mind up during the season. It's giving the player a little bit too much power. It's taking the power away from Manchester United. It's a big reason why I fell out with Rooney. Not fell out personally with Rooney, but it's a big reason why I didn't like Rooney for a good long time because of what happened with him and Fergie. He was the first player to properly publicly break Fergie down and the whole club power dynamic. He was the one to change that. I forgave him because I realised that, Rooney was right to question the ambition. He really, really was right. T. Royce, how you doing? You're saying, with the signings we've made in the last few windows and now bringing in his countrymen, I think we can tempt him to stay with the direction that we're heading. We shouldn't have to massively make Pogba want to stay. As I said, I've said this before on a few streams. I don't want us to beg Paul Pogba to stay. I don't want us to beg anybody to stay. That player should want to stay at Manchester United. Mike Smith, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Any news on Trippier? The news came yesterday, Mike. Basically, Trippier is begging for this move. Trippier is desperate to join Manchester United, and he's willing to wait until the end of the transfer window for it to happen. And I personally think if a move for him does happen, it will come in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window. I don't think we're going to be signing him anytime soon because we've got so much to sort. We've got to clear the decks before we bring in somebody else. And that's why Trippier is probably bottom of the priority list. Midfielder has to be next on the priority list. But Paul Pogba in that situation does it hangs over it. Victor, well, I saw a comment there from my man Victor, and I wanted to read that out, but it's completely oh no, it's not Victor. And Vivian, has Paul said he doesn't want to play for United? Paul has not said that. Paul's not really said. Paul is very good at what he does. He stays quiet a lot of the times. He doesn't really say much, and he kind of that he knows how to play the game. He lets Mino Raiola speak for him. I can see a comment on Facebook here from King Flavor. You've just been banned, my friend. Actually, no, that not work. Block user. Come on. User was blocked. Good. And I shall delete that comment. I need to figure out how I can get mods on the Facebook comments because I don't know how to mod those. Sorry about that. Got a comment here from Coretti saying, good morning to you, Coretti, by the way. Thank you very much for Super Chat. Pogba is a fantastic player, but if he wants to leave, he can leave. Many players are out there who can be equally as effective in replacing him. We've already got that, haven't we, my friend? We've got Donny van der Beek. I don't think we massively have to worry about replacing Paul Pogba. It's about whether or not we reinvest that money in the midfield. That would be the bigger question. And we're going to be making money by selling other players. And I think Andreas Pereira is absolutely a sure thing to be sold this summer. He's saying that he's talked to Manchester. He was asked whether he's spoken about his future with Manchester United. We are focused on looking for the best for my career. That's what my staff thinks. And I know United want the same. Now, if we are looking at what is best for the career of Andreas Pereira, it's moving on. It's leaving Manchester United this summer and going and playing regular first team football. He went out, I think it was Lazio he was on loan with last year. Maybe he can go back to Lazio. I don't know. But if we're looking at what's best for his career, him scoring that absolute wonder goal, and I'll be honest, that was one of the best goals you'll ever see scored at Old Trafford. What a goal that was. What a hit. Crossbar and in, the cleanest of strikes from Pereira. Doesn't mean he's going to stay. It means that he's put himself in the shop window, which is probably why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started him. So that certainly worked out. I think he should be leaving, and if we're looking at the best move for his career, it's moving on from United. Look who's joined in. My good old friend Orgasmo just logged in. Any news to whisper into the wife's ear tonight? Varane's medical is happening early next week, so you're going to be busy. So just let her know, right? But Varane's medical is going to be happening hopefully on Monday. The news here, quick update. This is the big thing here. New rules come into the UK on Monday, which means from the 2nd of August, anybody who arrives into the UK who is double jabbed doesn't have to self-isolate. And that means that Varane shouldn't have to self-isolate when he comes to United. And that means the medical can happen quicker. And that is what we want. And it's all good news. Speaking of other good COVID news, it's been confirmed that, Manchester United's game against Preston today got cancelled because of COVID. But none of the first team players have been affected. And that's really good news because we were worried whether or not that was going to affect our plans for the season. It isn't. And that's good news. What is good news as well is James Seymour Smith. You've joined the channel as a member. Good morning to you, James. Big up to you. Have a great weekend. Lovely to have you on board. Where are you watching this from, mate? Let me know in the comments so I can give you a shout out as we continue doing this. Victorim, you're asking, why aren't United doing anything on the outgoing? Seriously, why are we still keeping players at the club? We need some money for a midfielder. I think Manchester United personally are doing plenty when it comes to players leaving behind the scenes. As I said, we've already spoken about, there's too many. We've got Pellistri, we've got Jones, we've got Tuanzebe on loan, you've got maybe Mengi on loan, you've got Pereira, you've got Lingard, you've got I think I've already said Pellistri. There's so many players that should and could be leaving Manchester United this summer. And I think that will happen. That's what's going to happen over the next few weeks, hopefully before the Leeds game, so we can get them off the books. Hello, mate. Hello, James. How you doing, my friend? Great to have you on board. A couple of comments coming in here. One from Jibak. Good morning to you, Jibak. How you doing, my friend? Saying replacing Paul Pogba reminds me of replacing Smalling, replacing Rio. Sorry, but he has done nothing to even suggest he's Paul Pogba's type, let alone ability. Now that is a fair comment. I'm not gonna say that Paul Pogba can come in and that Donny van der Beek can come in and be Paul Pogba and replace Paul Pogba. I think Paul Pogba is irreplaceable. That's why in an ideal world, I like to keep him. But in the same sense, I think Donny van der Beek can come in, and we've got Bruno Fernandes, and Donny van der Beek can come in and add a new dimension to this midfield. When we saw him in that Ajax team, the thing that he was so great at is quick moving possession-based football. That's what this midfield needs. We need to be able to hold the game. because too often the game moves way too fast from front to back for Manchester United. It kind of skips the midfield. We go from defence to attack, and then all of a sudden we're on the back foot, and then defence to attack. What we need is a midfield that's capable of just knocking it about. And that's something that Donny van der Beek is very good at, and that's something I think he would definitely add to the team if he was to come in and play more minutes if Pogba left. Vicky, you're saying, is Pogba worth the circus? Doesn't it disrupt United? Pogba on form is worth the circus. And we all know that. And that's why it's such a 50-50 split decision between all Manchester United fans about everything that's going on with Paul Pogba. Because when he's on form, you know he's one of the world's best. Got Sushan. How you doing, Sushan? I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Thank you very much for Super Chat. Great to have you here. At the moment, Paul Pogba only has only PSG, and he knows when he becomes a free agent, he'll have a lot more options. And next year, more big teams will be able to spend big. I think Paul Pogba is waiting to see how United progress this year. And I'm watching from Jammu in India. I'll add you onto the map after, my friend, Sushant. And I think you're completely right, because if Paul Pogba is looking at a huge move, Barcelona and Real Madrid have to be involved in that potential move. And he can't move to either of those clubs this summer because they cannot afford him. Whereas they can afford him on a free next year. So if he waits, therefore, he involves both of those. What about Boateng to United? He wants to move, reportedly. Fair to say Messi has ruined his career. Which Boateng? Jerome? Kevin Prince? Too many Boatengs. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, my friend. Neves News says, Hassan, unfortunately with Neves, and unfortunately with Neves, with Camavinga, don't talk about Noretska. It's not going to happen. Probably Neves and Camavinga, the two main ones, really. It's going to be a bit quiet until something really develops with Paul Pogba. That's what I personally think. Let's see what happens. But I think we're probably going to be focusing more on players being sold, players being loaned, and Paul Pogba, rather than signing a midfielder just at this particular moment in time. Jerome Boateng. My God, is it Jose Mourinho in the comments here? Look, if we didn't get Jerome Boateng at that point, we're not going to get Jerome Boateng now, and I don't think we need Jerome Boateng. Josh Williams saying, I actually laughed for an hour when Arsenal confirmed Ben White for 50 million. Look, Ben White is way overpriced, but Ben White, I think, will be a good signing for Arsenal. Way overpriced for what it is. It's the English tax. It's the Premier League tax. That is what it is. But I think Ben White's going to be a good signing for Arsenal, and that's why I'm not going to laugh too much at it, because I think we overpaid for Harry Maguire, but we've proven now that was a fantastic signing. I think the same thing may apply to Ben White, but Ben White obviously isn't as good as Harry Maguire. James, you're saying Pogba just wants to progress. We all would wait to see what happens if all you want to do is win. And if Paul Pogba was thinking about leaving, he's now thinking about staying, because we've got Varane and we've got Sancho. Rocket the Boss, you're saying Varane will have quarantine, please. As I said, let me quickly head back to that one more time for you, my friend. New rules in the UK from the 2nd of August, from Monday. Adults fully vaccinated in the UK don't have to self-isolate upon return. That's going to be extended to EU countries from Monday onwards, which means, ladies and gents, that Varane shouldn't have to quarantine. And that's big news. Now, let's quickly skip on here. This is a very important question, a very important thing that I want to speak about, because there was an article here from Laurie Whitwell this morning. Will signing Jadon Sancho and Varane change Manchester United fans' feelings towards the Glazers? You let me know what you think about that in the comments. I'll let you know what I think. No fucking way. It changes absolutely zero in terms of how I feel about the Glazers. Because you know what? We're all here talking about how Sancho has been signed, how Varane is signed. What are the Glazers doing behind the scenes? Yesterday, they took out another £8 million from Manchester United in another dividend share. Really quietly, behind the scenes, this happened yesterday. So another 8 million is left 2 times a year. Once, I think, in January, once, I think, in July. Roughly, it totals about 20 million per year leaving the club in dividends. This happened yesterday, was snuck under the carpet. No one really was speaking about it. I'm speaking about it. Fuck the Glazers. Doesn't matter who we sign. This is you trying to, it's basically before the horse has bolted. That it's too late. The relationship is dead and buried. I still hate the Glazers. I still want the Glazers out and completely out. The fact that they're signings, good. That's what a football club of Manchester United's size and ambition should be doing. It doesn't mean they're great owners. It means that right now we're actually doing what we should have been doing the whole time. But it's good to see Solskjaer being backed. Yes, it is good, and it's a better conversation because I remember last summer. I remember doing a video when I was out in Ghana, and I did it, and I said, "Look, congratulations to the Glazers, congratulations to the club because Solskjaer is going to get sacked." It looked for me looking at Manchester United's summer, it was just that Solskjaer hadn't been given the tools he was needed to succeed in the season, and he massively exceeded expectations. Manchester United exceeded expectations. Cavani exceeded expectations. We overachieved, in my opinion, last year, given the tools that Solskjaer was given. Hopefully that changes this year because we have been given much better tools. We've been given Varane and we've been given Sancho. But this concept of it's a concept that makes me sick, and it's a concept I will never ever go quiet on. Will signing Sancho and Varane change Manchester United's feelings towards the Glazers? It will not change a goddamn bean. I think the protests have certainly played a role in how Manchester United have acted this summer. And I want everybody, and I encourage everybody, keep protesting, keep doing what you're doing, keep flying the Newton Heath scarves. Don't buy the kits. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. You go and spend your money how you want to spend your money. But I've paused my season ticket. I'm not buying the kits. I will do whatever I can to help the protests across the season. You know I will. I know you will as well. It is what it is. Before I quickly move on, please drop a like on the video, ladies and gents, and subscribe down below if you're new. It's free. Get involved. What are we on now? Let's have a quickly look. Let's have a look at our subscriber count. Well, what were we on yesterday? We were on, I remember, just under I think it was just under 200. Let's go over here and see where we're at. We should keep this. I think I did it yesterday, but I forgot actually to do it today. Let's have a look at the live count. So we are on here. We're on 200,000, 242. Let's see if we can get to, maybe it's ambitious. Let's try and get to 200,300 by the end of the stream. So there's 50 of you watching. Drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. I'm sure there's plenty of you who are new to the channel. Get involved. You can get involved in the giveaways. I'm going to be doing a giveaway now. I'll say it here. I'm going to be doing a giveaway every 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's how much I appreciate and want all of you to be rewarded for getting involved and helping us make this community bigger. This time it's a Patrice Evra hoodie, presentation box, and a letter. That's a big one. That's a 200,000 one. I don't think I can make him that good every single 1,000 subscribers, but I'll do something every single 1,000 subscribers. John Dudley, looks like someone's drunk in the comments here saying, you're wrong about the Glazers. They are great. You're in the wrong crowd here, my friend, John. And I know you're trying to troll me. I'm not going to nibble. Just saying you should probably put the drink down, my friend. I'll tell you what, something else is happening. You can't ignore this transfer. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Jack Grealish, Man City's 100 million transfer bid for Grealish is going to be accepted by Villa. That's what Sky Sports News is saying this morning. Grealish obviously linked with a move to Manchester United for some time. Everybody would love to have seen him come in and maybe replace Paul Pogba. That would have been a direct swap, not a direct swap, but you know what I mean. I could easily have seen Grealish slotting into that position if Paul Pogba was to leave, but we don't know whether he's going to leave, and therefore you can't really go. And we're definitely not going out and spending 100 mil on Grealish. Jack Grealish, who is, has always been Jack Grealish has always been a Man City fan his entire life. Grealish has always wanted to play for City. It's going to be a big move for Grealish to finally go to the club that he's always loved. He's always loved Manchester City. Oh no, he hasn't. Yeah, he's been a United fan his whole life. And that is what I find absolutely hilarious. There's so many tweets like this, and this is something that's going to keep coming. I can't wait across the season to pull these tweets up because Grealish is a United fan, always been a United fan. He wanted a move to Manchester United. He didn't get that move to United, but City have gone in. City are spending big, and fair play to City. I think Tony Pereira is completely spot on there. Grealish is good, makes City even better. It goes to show that our rivals are going to be making those key signings this summer. Look, you might think that Ben White is overpriced, but he's going to improve Arsenal. You might think that Grealish is overpriced, and you're definitely right. He's going to improve City. So United have to make sure that we keep. And that's why it's so good. Peter Williams, how you doing? Just subscribe. Nice to see you part of the family, my friend. This is why it's so important that we got our deals done early for Raphael Varane, for Jadon Sancho. We've set the precedent. United have gone first this summer. We're leading the way. Now City are coming up behind us. They've got Jack Grealish. Liverpool have got Konate. Is it Konate? I think it's Konate. They've got centre-back cover. Arsenal got Ben White. You know, Arsenal like 15th or wherever they are. I don't really care about Arsenal. But we need to make sure that we stay ahead of our rivals. We have to have the strongest summer because we had to catch up with City. Orgasmo, how you doing? Big up to you, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. If Pogba is giving us trouble, I'll send in my 7-year-old daughter to sort him out. She is a blue belt in karate. Now, I'm not going to condone violence. I'm not Cersei from Game of Thrones. I'm not going to choose violence. But if Paul Pogba just wants to leave, man. I'm bored. I'll be honest, I'm bored of having the conversations about Paul Pogba. And will he stay? Will he go? Mama, just make your goddamn mind up. Why has it got to be so dragged out? Why is it so difficult just to choose whether you want to play for a club? And I think the problem is he's got no suitors. Real Madrid can't afford him. Juventus can't afford him. Barcelona can't afford him. Bayern Munich don't want to sign him. The only club that he can really go to is PSG. So he tries to, what Mino Raiola and Paul Pogba have done here is try to let his contract go down so it gives him more power to negotiate. But the power in the negotiation has been taken away from Paul Pogba because Juve and Real Madrid are probably the two clubs I think that Paul Pogba would leave United for. Neither of them can afford him this summer. And therefore, PSG is the only real, genuine club that he could probably go to. Therefore, it means that Paul Pogba doesn't have as much power in the negotiation anymore. And that's probably why him staying at Manchester United is a genuine possibility. If Real Madrid was the Real Madrid of old, where they don't lose Raphael Varane on a free and they can't afford to sign anybody, then Paul Pogba would they would already have probably agreed a deal. Paul Pogba would be joining Real Madrid this summer. Absolutely done. Absolutely done. Shanker, you're saying, bro, do a FPL contest this season. I am doing one. I have started it, but I forgot to bring the code onto the stream and I can't find it anywhere. So make sure you check out Twitter, United People's TV, and I'll be here on Monday anyway announcing it. But we're launching a fantasy league. Going to be doing a prize. Last season, if you weren't, surely you were involved in the Fantasy Premier League last season. You know what the prize was? A signed Eric Cantona shirt. I'll repeat that: a signed Eric Cantona shirt for the fantasy prize. That's amazing. Great giveaways here on United People's TV. Ashley Horrocks, how you doing, Ashley? I recognise you. You become a member of the family. Great to have you on board. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to join Ashley and become a member, just hit the join button down below. It's only the price of a coffee. Anything that comes in from the memberships is getting put back into the channel. Going to be bringing in the new video editor next week. The short videos are coming back. The podcast is launching. So much more content. So thank you very much, Ashley, for supporting the channel, and anybody else who can support the channel, either on Facebook. There's a link in the description of this video. Click that. Again, about the price of a coffee. Expensive coffee, about the price of half a pint. Expensive half a pint. It's like £3 a month. It's cheap. And it means it's your way of helping the channel grow. Geordie TV, maybe watching the wrong team, but I'll read your comment out. It's Mino. He's causing all the hassle. It is Mino Raiola. We know it's Mino Raiola, but Mino Raiola gets the best for his players. We all know that. No one likes Mino Raiola, but everybody who is represented by Mino Raiola, they love Mino Raiola because he really does do a job for them. Look at that. We're only 43 away. Let's see if we can get it before the end of this live stream. You fire in your comments. Oh, look at that. We've got Tumwebazi watching from Japan. How are the Olympics out there, my friend? England this morning, United Kingdom, so Great Britain, geez. This morning, winning in the mixed triathlon. That's wicked. If you've ever done a triathlon, it's hard as hell. I've done, sprint triathlons? A swim, then a cycle, then a run. It's difficult. Very, very difficult. So they won it in the mixed medley, so congratulations to them. Matthew Grant, there you go. Big up to you, Matt, for joining. Good morning. It's the weekend. Everyone's in a good... I'll tell you what, it's actually sunny outside in England. I don't think it's going to be sunny later. Geordie TV, I'm a United fan, actually, just from Newcastle. Well, how you doing, my friend? You chose the right team. You definitely chose the right team. I remember going up to Newcastle. I drove up to Newcastle with my friend, Dan, the guy I went to live in Ghana with. He's a Newcastle fan. I'm a United fan. So we drove the whole way up to Newcastle, St. James's Park. And it was a game where, I'm not sure if you remember it. I think it was like 2014, maybe 2013. It was when we beat them, I think 3-0, and Tom Cleverley scored. It was definitely a cross and it went in. and it was a cracking goal. I was sat underneath the away fans, hiding in the home end. If you've ever done it in a football stadium, it's the worst thing to do, isn't it? To be a hideaway away fan inside the home fans of a stadium where you have to like stay tight-lipped, and you've watched United score a couple of goals and you can't celebrate. Morn Martin, good morning to you, Morn Martin. Thank you very much for joining the family. It's a great look, watching from Wollongong in New South Wales. I'll get you added onto the map, Adam. Thank you very much for watching from Facebook. And as I said, Morn, big up to you for joining. You let me know where you're watching from in the comments, my friend. There you go. Look, you're watching from Cape Town, South Africa. Big up. Love the content. Thank you very much, my friend. So many of you watching from South Africa. It's really, really awesome. Oh, look, Dax Z. Everyone's joining. Thank you very much for everyone. Oh, look, I keep saying this, and I say it from the bottom of my heart. I love this community. I'll say it again. If you've missed it, this is the giveaway for the 200,000 subscriber giveaway. It's a Patrice Evra presentation box from I Love This Game with a hoodie and a bag. Head over to the Discord. There is a link to the Discord in the description on YouTube. I've also left it in the comments here. All you've got to do is go there, go to the giveaway channel and drop a like on the post, and I will give that to you. Matthew Grant, you're asking what my take on the new away kit is. I think the new away kit, I'll be honest, actually, it's one of the best kits I've seen United have in a long time. It's very 90s, and the reason I like it so much is because the sponsor just looks good on it. It's not the Chevrolet logo that stands out and is horrendous. It's red. It blends in like the Sharp sponsor did back in the 90 to 92, which is where the throwback is. That's why it works so well. What I'll do here for anybody who didn't manage to join in earlier, let me give you a quick recap. And as always, keep firing in your comments and questions. Keep firing in your super chats, and I'll go down to them after I do a quick recap, and I'll answer them. And also let me know where you're watching this from. But Raphael Varane yesterday gave his final proper goodbyes to everyone at Real Madrid. Hugs all around, smiles all around. He basically got a hero's exit. He was so respectful, and Real Madrid were very respectful in return. A play they didn't want to lose, but a play that they did lose. Fabrizio confirming that he's planning to fly to Manchester early next week, should be on Monday, to complete his move as a Manchester United player. Medical and contract signing. We're all asking, when is this Varane medical? It looks like it could be on Monday. And the reason it could be on Monday is because the rules change in the UK from Monday. And I think this is probably why Varane has delayed his arrival to the UK. Because from Monday, fully vaccinated adults in the UK don't have to self-isolate upon return from amber list countries. And that extends to most European countries from the 2nd of August, from Monday. So it looks like United and Varane have been a little bit clever, waited a few more days. And that should mean, I think, that he doesn't have to self-isolate. And I don't think it means he has to quarantine either. I might be wrong on that. I might be misinterpreting these rules. But fingers crossed we can get Varane announced before Thursday when I'm disappearing for a couple of days, because I want to join you on that live stream. We had a little conversation about Marcus Rashford, about how the surgery is the right thing for him to do for his career. He needs this. And I'm glad that Manchester United have given him the opportunity to do that, because he needs that. And then we had a nice discussion about what's Manchester United going to line up like without Marcus Rashford. We're looking at probably James Elanga and Martial as options out on the left, with Sancho and Ahmad on the right, and Cavani and Greenwood as our two options up front. It's still a very strong squad. We've got options up front. Elanga's breakthrough, that gives us another option. James, I think, is probably going to be better on the left than he is on the right. You saw with Wales, he created like 8 chances. In the group stages, I'm not sure anybody created more chances than Dan James did. That's how good he is on the left. Then we had a big discussion about Paul Pogba. It is what it is. We're going to be discussing it so often and so many more times on this stream. You know that. We had a conversation about Pereira. He's got to be leaving. He's not the only one who needs to leave. Nobody in the squad tested positive for COVID. That's very, very good. Had a nice little conversation, little rant really, I suppose, about the Glazers. Will signing Sancho and Varane change the feeling towards the Glazers? Absolutely not. Never, ever will. Glazers yesterday, not secretly, but no one really talked about it. They took out another 8 million out of the club. NASDAQ announced it. Sort of went under the carpet. No one really spoke about it. That's why they'll always take 20 million per year. They still take out of my football club. So don't try and say to me that, you're signing Sancho and Varane. Yeah, we are signing Sancho and Varane because we should be signing Sancho and Varane because we are Manchester United. And our ambition is to win the Premier League. So to win the Premier League, you have to make these sorts of signings. So don't try and tell me that they're the best owners in the world. They're not. They never will be. Got Dak Z. How you doing, Zach? Thank you very much for joining, my friend. Watching from Malaysia. Congrats for 200k subs. It's wicked that we all did that live on the stream together. That really was good fun. We had a conversation about Jack Grealish, who is a huge Man City fan. Obviously, he prefers City over... No, actually, no, he's a huge United fan. And it's hilarious that he's going to be joining City over United. But United are not going to pay 100 million. But it's a statement of intent. Man City already had a fantastic squad last year. And they've now gone out and signed Jack Grealish. That is... It's a dangerous... They're going to be very dangerous next year. David on Facebook saying, I think I just signed up, still drunk from yesterday out in Copenhagen. I hope you're still drunk. And I tell you what, I would love to come and visit Copenhagen. I would love to. Look, we've got Hassan watching from Sweden. I would love to come out and visit Scandinavia. Such a beautiful set of countries. I'm a big nature fan. There's so much I would like to come and visit there. Maybe I will do it at some point. There's so much of the world I still want to see. But Jack Grealish, he's going City. Fair play to City. That is an incredible, incredible signing. And I'm a little bit worried to see how that goes. What are we on now? We are on 36. We're probably not going to get 36 more subscribers before the end of the show. But let me head down to the comments here and let me see what you're saying. So fire in your questions and I will answer them. Like Stephen Brown here saying, hey, Sam. Oh, no. We need to keep Lingard and Pereira as we need squad players. We cannot win with just the best 11. I do agree that we can't win with just the best 11, Stephen. But I disagree that we should be keeping Lingard and Pereira. Lingard and Pereira for me is 30 million. Lingard and Pereira for me are two players that I don't think are going to be getting more game time. If we're going to be playing Pereira in central midfield, I'd rather play James Garner as a backup in that option. If we're going to be playing Lingard there, I would rather play Ahmed or Elanga or James or Marcel. We've got options in both of those positions. We're spoiled in that regard. Therefore, I think both of those should be leaving and Manchester United should be reinvesting that money. Victor in saying United should hijack Grealish and play him left wing. Money plus Lingard. I mean, that is Football Manager. And that would be, I mean, it'd be amazing to have Jack Grealish in the squad, but I don't think there's any chance of that happening. Grealish is going to be joining Man City, and we're just going to have to deal with it. We're just going to have to make sure that we're better than City. City were already top of the league last year. We went out and signed Varane and Sancho. We took a leg up. Now City have gone out and they've signed Grealish. Well, not official yet. But let's see what happens. Derek there asking a good question saying, when do our main guys return? I believe, Derek, it happens next week. I think that's when it's 3 weeks from the end of Euro 2020. And I believe that is therefore when Manchester United's first team players come back. The likes of Sancho coming into the squad, the likes of Maguire, the likes of Luke Shaw. There's plenty of players who haven't really featured in this preseason because Euro 2020 happened and we got to the final. Got Matthew saying, I know you've mentioned him before, but how do you think United should handle Phil Jones? I don't think he was ever a United type player. Need him off the books. I think it's unfair, Matt, to say that he was never a United player. If he wasn't a United player, Fergie wouldn't have signed him and Fergie wouldn't have bigged him up as the new Duncan Edwards. Fergie saw something in Phil Jones that we didn't. And him as a manager, you have to trust his instinct. He's called it right so many times. Of course, he's called it wrong a lot of times. But with Phil Jones, it was just injuries and injuries and injuries. We need to get him off your books. You're absolutely right. Spot on there. He needs to lead the football club. The problem is that we gave him a contract extension with ridiculously good wages. Therefore, clubs can't afford him. And therefore, he doesn't want to leave because he's going to be missing out on these wages. We forced ourselves in between a rock and a hard place with Phil Jones. We should never have given him that contract extension, and it wouldn't be a problem now. We're suffering the consequences of our own actions with that new contract, and it should be a full... not full, full's the wrong word. It should be a precedent. United should go, right, we messed up so bad with Phil Jones, we can't let that happen again. That's what should be happening anyway. Got Ritesh saying, thanks for the recap, Sam. Traveling poor connectivity at the moment, so couldn't catch up. You're the best. Big up to you, Ritesh. Member of the gang. We'll see you soon when you got your connectivity back. Let's read a few more of the comments here. And then we'll head off for the weekend. Do I rate Phil Jones, says Morn? Phil Jones, man. I don't rate Phil Jones enough to give him another opportunity at Manchester United. That's probably the fairest thing I can say about Phil Jones. It's not to say that he can't go elsewhere and be great. Like when Johnny Evans left United, it wasn't because he was a shit player. It was because we had Rio and Vidic, and he went on to be a fantastic defender. You can see that with Leicester now. I think Phil Jones, if he stays fit, can still be a good defender. It's just I can't give him that opportunity at Manchester United anymore. Jeez, he's about to get a fucking testimonial. Jeez, there's no way. Absolutely no way. Look, one season of Jones just doesn't justify a new contract. It doesn't, and we messed up there. Victorim saying, Sam, do a video on players United should get rid of. Don't worry, Victorim. That's coming very, very soon. But that's the story. They're the stories for today. Look, Arsenal signing Ben White, you can laugh at it. 50 million is way overpriced, but we overpaid for Maguire, and we don't regret that signing. I don't think Arsenal will regret that signing. I think it's a good signing for them. Jack Grealish, 100 million. Is it overpriced? Hell yeah, it's overpriced. But Grealish will improve that City team and make them better. Therefore, it's a good signing for City. Man United, we've got Varane. We've got Sancho. Liverpool have got Konate. It's starting to heat up. Signings are starting to be made. Let's see what Chelsea do. Let's see what else Liverpool can do. If not, it's going to be, I don't really care. But Man United have made our two big signings. Varane next week. It looks like he can fly in on Monday and not have to self-isolate because he's double vaccinated. Big tick, which means the medical should be able to get done swiftly and the announcement hopefully made before Thursday. Fingers crossed, don't do it when I'm away. But I joined you on Saturday. Maybe I should make these Saturday ones more often. It depends if I'm drinking on a Friday or not. That's the issue. But thank you very much to every single one of you who joined in. If you're still here, please join the channel. There's a little button down below. It's like £3 a month. Or it depends. There's 3 different tiers. If you want to join, you can become a squad member, a team captain, or a UPTV legend. And there's a few of you out there. Lone Wanderer, I know you're there, my friend. They help the channel. Any money that comes in through there, I'm only reinvesting back into the channel. So the short videos, they're coming back next week. I told you they'd be coming back soon, and they're coming back straight away. After that, launching a podcast, lots to do. Plenty of you are joined on Facebook as well. There's a link in the description of this video on Facebook, and there's a video pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. Hit the support now button. But thank you very much for everybody. Ian, there's going to be a video on the starting 11, my predicted starting 11 for that Leeds game coming out before the game. There's quite a few cracking videos. My season predictions, my Man United season predictions, Champions League, Premier League, League Cup, what we're going to do, top scorer, Premier League predictions, where do I think we're going to finish? All these are coming out in the next couple of weeks, and it's all been made possible by you joining the channel and helping the channel grow. We've hit 200,000. We didn't quite hit 200,300 on this stream here, but we nearly got there. It's a good few of you have joined in now, and we're getting bigger and better every single day. I can't wait. I'm going to have a new studio soon. Going to have a new setup here. This is going to look much smoother and sexier as soon as I get it figured out. I'm still trying to figure it out. But thank you very much for joining in today. I could speak all day, but I think you might get bored of me by that point. I hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Make sure you join the Discord for that giveaway. Got a Fantasy Premier League launching next week. It's exciting times. Anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Until next time, though, take it easy.